At PDAC 2025. I'm so glad that we have Frederick from Vista Gold. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Great, so let's start from a really quick introduction. Can you tell us more about your company?
Absolutely. Vista Gold is a British Columbia company with headquarters in Denver, Colorado. We've been around since 1983. We trade on the NYSE American and the TSX stock exchanges. Our primary asset is the Mt Todd Gold Project, which is located in the Northern Territory of Australia and is one of Australia's largest undeveloped gold projects at this time.
So can you share more about the latest development of Mt Todd?
Yeah, last year we finished a drilling program that two phases. The first phase was drilling in the northern extension of the Batman deposit, and the second part of it was drilling what we call the South Crosslode. Both of those will result in an increase in measured and indicated resources, and we expect to have that resource estimated completed in the coming weeks. Last December, additionally, we launched a feasibility study to look at a project, a smaller initial start to the Mt Todd Gold Project, more in the line of 15,000 tons per day instead of 50,000 tons per day.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the feasibility study. So what do you expect from it?
We're very excited about this new feasibility study. For years, we've evaluated Mt Todd as a very large project, 17.5 million tons per annum processed. We realized that comes with a very large price tag, and so in December we launched a feasibility study to look at a much smaller initial scale to the project of 5.2 million tons per year. One of the things that's going to happen is that we're expecting about a 60% reduction in the capital cost for the project, and that will be very important. Additionally, we have made the decision to raise the cutoff grade, not because of economic considerations, but because we desire to have a reserve grade that's close to 1 gram per ton. Previously, we reported 7 million ounces at about 0.77 grams per ton. We expect with this new study that we'll have somewhere between 5 and 5.5 million ounces of reserves, but with a reserve grade very close to 1 gram per ton. And we think that that'll be much more valuable in the marketplace. I think one of the advantages of designing and evaluating Mt Todd as a smaller project is it'll be much easier to finance, and it opens the door to a greater group of potential partners in developing the project. And as we've discussed this with others, we see a lot of interest in this concept to start smaller and expand at some point in time down the road.
That's exciting. So yeah, we all know that you secured a $20 million royalty agreement with Wheaton Precious Metals. So what will this fund be used? You know,
receiving that money for the 1% royalty from Wheaton Precious Metals was a huge validation event. You know, it said to the market that the work that we've done in the past is good quality work, and that it's recognized by such a reputable group as the people at Wheaton Precious Metals. One of the commitments that we made in receiving that money was to put money in the ground, and obviously that money was spent last year in completing the drilling program that I discussed earlier. Obviously, part of that money will be spent to fund the feasibility study that we launched in December. So there's some very concrete, generate results, benefit the project type of resources or uses of the money that we've used, and then we have the latitude to use that money for corporate purposes as well.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, and we've seen that your stock price have an uptick in the early 2025. So what's the reason behind it?
You know, I think that the biggest driver is just that as the market has begun to understand that we're thinking about Mt Todd at a scale of 15,000 tons a day, and that we're going to lower the capex and that we're going to raise the grade, I think that resonates with a lot of people. Certainly, the sustained gold prices have been good for us, and Australia is a safe jurisdiction. Given the events of the last 24 hours, I guess one of the things that gives us some leverage is that Australia is not affected by the tariffs that our new president is imposing, and so that works to our favor as well. But I think the real core reasons are that people look at Mt Todd and say, they're pleased that Vista is finding a cheaper way to develop it and to build a project that can generate between 150 and 200,000 ounces of gold per year. Still a very respectable size.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So speaking of the market, how is your company gonna position itself to capitalize on the market trends?
Obviously, there's a lot of producers right now that are generating a lot of free cash flow. They're paying off debt. Having a project that's more within reach for a bigger group of companies, I think, is what is going to be one of the important catalysts. We aim to finish the feasibility study the middle of this year, and that will be a very big catalyst. There will be some minor news as we lead up to that. We won't be able to say much, but obviously announcing results and being able to demonstrate that we have a project that's very viable at a initially smaller scale and that it can be built for a capital cost number. We're targeting $400 million, and that's certainly within the reach of a number of the companies that we believe would make good partners for the Mt Todd project. So that's going to be the biggest bit of news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much, Frederick. That is a great discussion with you today. So hope you enjoyed the conference.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.